Hello everyone and welcome back to Create Above and Beyond. So today we took a little bit of time working on finishing up some projects in preparation for leaving the brass age. One thing I'm going to have to do immediately is upgrade our Extendo grip. So one thing that you can do with pretty much every tool in the game is use this internal Stella on a tool, and it basically makes it completely unbroken. The reason we have to make a new one is because I was doing just a little bit of mining and actually broke it. This isn't typically a problem because you can use the back tank, and that essentially means that it won't take durability, but I much rather wear a chest piece than the back tank so that way we don't die nearly as much. So we'll go ahead and craft a new one, and then we'll go over and craft an Eternal Stella and combine those two in our smithing table, and then that should make it unbreaking. Yeah, indestructible. So now it looks like it's not going to take durability. Sweet. So thanks to you guys, I now know that it is a 1 in 2.5 million chance to complete the test of patience, which at this rate will take approximately 86 days if I'm doing my math correctly. So obviously 3 seconds per barrel is not nearly fast enough, so we're going to have to redesign the system to go a lot faster. And along with that redesign, I think we also have to take care of all the items we're getting. The pufferfish, cookies, and apples we can actually sell. So the apples we can turn into creative apples and sell, and everything else can just be sold straight up. However, the paper and barrels, I don't really see much of a use for. I think we'll probably use the barrels to actually power the selling of the other stuff. And the paper, I think we may as well just save like a stack of each type and void the rest, because we can still use them for crafting recipes, but I don't really see reasons to keep thousands and thousands of named pieces of paper. So I went ahead and created a schematic of a brand new barrel machine in a creative world, just to make it a little easier on myself and not have to craft and recraft a whole bunch of stuff and make extra materials. So I'm just positioning my machine in my world with our schematic. And then once that's done and looks like it's in a good spot, I'm going to go ahead and place that into my schematic cannon and get my book to get my recipe of items, fill that up, and we can watch it go. In our book, it tells us everything that we need to complete our machine. Only 5 pages, that's not too bad. I should be able to knock this out in just a few minutes. The last thing we need for the schematic is a few flux ducts, which essentially transfers electricity. So to do that, we need to craft this Invar stuff. And to craft that, we basically need these uncompressed Invar ingots and press those 16 times. Those ingots are pretty easy to craft. We need this nickel compound, which is 4 iron dust, and a nickel, which gets us the 1 nickel compound, which we smelt into the unprocessed Invar ingot, which gets us 1 Invar ingot. So crafting these up was actually pretty easy. The nickel compound was easy to craft, so was smelting them down. The only issue here is that they do not stack once they're done smelting, so you can see our nickel compound will finish smelting into our unprocessed Invar ingots, and they do not stack. Not too big of a deal, but then we can just go over and press them. And all I did here was I just fed them back and forth on my little press line to get them fully compressed. So with our Invar created, we go ahead and craft a few flux ducts, which we can use to get our schematic cannon going, and then move on to completing the rest of our factory. And here it is, our completed barrel factory. I am absolutely in love with this building. Essentially, it's just a giant scaled up barrel with like kind of a little bit of a factory vibe on the outside, where we've got logs going in here and then barrels coming out over on the other side. And then on the inside, I actually went ahead and fully decorated that too. So inside here, obviously we've got our barrel machine, and then all this stuff up here, and then we've got a pile of logs and some barrels kind of hidden all around. And then over here is where we are analyzing our test of patience barrel to figure out all of its secrets. But yeah, this thing is still running. It's been running for hours. So the way this works is we kind of start here with our barrel, which is like our test of patience barrel. That is then broken by a deployer with an axe here and kind of shuffles over to this side to this deployer and gets placed back down. Now, there's a few different reasons we replaced our drill with a deployer, and the main one being is it's a little easier to control our speed. So you can see 1, 2, 3 hits, it breaks. And the reason we're doing 3 hits is that it has time to take all the items out. I had it going a lot faster before because you could do it with a single hit if you enchanted that to efficiency 4. But the issue we had there is not all the stuff would have been taken out by the time it broke, and we had stuff flying all over, and I actually almost lost my main barrel a few times. But we got that figured out, we got that dialed in. So all it is just an axe enchanted with Unbreaking 3, which breaks the barrel. I haven't had to replace them yet, but I'm sure I will at some point soon. Then I have a smart chute below that, and that's filtered out to ignore that specific barrel. So what that means is like all the items like apples and paper and stuff will go down through and up into our system, where all of our barrels kind of just funnel on to the deployer. And what that also means is when we eventually do get to the end, that last barrel will go through because it's filtered to this barrel specifically, respecting the NBT data. So our final barrel will come up into our system as well. Now for all the extra barrels we're getting when we break them, those are dropped down here with a chute over here. And then I just break this, go show you where it's going. That goes down into a overflow system where we have a funnel here with a Stirling dynamo that powers our trade stations through these Flux ducts. And then we have our netherrack with some fire behind that, where all of the extra barrels are essentially just being voided. Now down here, sneak right here, you can see that our paper comes through here, and we have these 2 funnels here which are filtered for paper, which voids those off. The reason I had 2 funnels is we had a lot of cases where paper was actually making it through into our system. So that just takes care of that. I haven't had any problems since upgrading it to 2 funnels. Then all the other items go into this funnel, into this chute, which has a fan at the top sucking up. So all the stuff kind of tumbles up into our system. So all of our extra items kind of tumble up here and come out on this funnel here. This first one takes out all of our cookies and trades those with a cooking profession. The second one takes our pufferfish and trades them with a fishing profession. And this last one takes all of our apples. And we actually have to press those into the crates, which then trades them for the farming profession. This has been running for quite a long time, and we only have 30 coins, so this is definitely not a quick way to produce coins, but it is a good way to void off all of those extra items. Now, when we do complete the test of patience, the final barrel will kind of come here and get stuck here because this is filtered for apples, this is filtered for pufferfish and cookies, so it'll actually stay on this belt. And that's where this mechanical arm comes in. The mechanical arm basically takes from here and places in the chute, which is filtered for barrels only. So when that final barrel comes through, the arm will grab the barrel and place in the chute, which will drop down onto this depot. So when we're coming into the building, we can just look and see that it's done in a glance, or see that it's not done in a glance, which is more likely, and collect our prize. So if you guys are interested in having the schematic for yourself, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll upload it for you guys. It does take a little bit of manual kind of fine-tuning to get working in your world, but it should pretty much be plug and play. So if you're interested, let me know. So now I want to move on to building our mob farm building. So obviously we have our functional mob farm, and what I've done is I kind of blocked out where I think I want the building to be. I think it'll look pretty cool once that's done. So I've got the spiral staircase coming up the side, and then some rooms that I want to lay out. And I also went ahead and punched a hole in the wall here so we can actually see into our mob farm area and watch the mobs spawn. So I'll have to make this top level completely dark to make it look good. I also took the time to kind of figure out a pretty good looking block palette. So I have this cherry wood from Forbidden Arcanus. Now there is an issue with the cherry wood. I really like how it works with like the really thick planks, but the problem is the saplings were not able to grow. Essentially every time I bone mealed them, they wouldn't grow, and when they grow naturally, it would actually crash the game. So if you're having issues growing these or the mystery wood saplings, just update the Forbidden Arcanus mod and everything seems to work out okay. I'm also using some jungle wood as some details that looks pretty good with the cherry wood, along with these sun metal blocks, which I feel like will look really good for some detail. And then I'm just going to use some andesite bricks and stuff to kind of be the bulk of the building. I'm also going to use factory blocks and ornate windows to kind of fill in as kind of our like fine details in the building, and I think it should all look pretty good once it's all put together. And here is our completed mob factory. This thing looks super funky. I definitely think we need to add more stuff off to the side here. Originally, I was planning to do our brass factory over there, but now I'm thinking it might look kind of cool over here, maybe like up kind of in and on this hill, to kind of fill in more of our industrial area over here, but we'll kind of see how that turns out. That'll be in the next episode that we actually make the brass factory, but let's go ahead and check out our mob factory. So in here at the bottom level is where we have our ore processing, and we are still out of blazing blood, so pretty soon here we'll have to get a blaze spawner so we can keep this thing fed. Up at the next level is where we have all of our storage. What I've actually went ahead and did is I went and sold all of our rib bones and zombie hearts in the trade station, which you can actually sell for quite a lot. So each single one of these sells for 5 silver. So each stack gets you 5 stacks of silver, which works out pretty darn good because we get a lot of this stuff. And then up at the next level is where we have our kill chamber here, where we can come and collect our experience, and then a good look into our actual spawning room. And then we just have our little enchantment set up with some chests for storage. The other cool thing I did is I put these trapdoors in so we can very easily access the pedestal whenever we need to replace the sword. So you can see we actually only have one that's still not broken. We do need to put the unbreakable or indestructible enchantment on that, as well as all of our armor and tools pretty soon here. But for now, whenever we just need experience, we can just put a new sword on there. The other thing I did is I actually enchanted our insightful crystal with holding 5. So now it holds a absolutely stupid amount of experience. You can see we can take out, what was this, like 100 levels, and still have a little bit left. So what are we at? We are 108. So I'm guessing, because we had 50 levels to start with, it probably holds around 100 levels, which is insane, especially because it doesn't hold levels, it holds experience points. Because basically it takes a lot more to go from like 56 to 57 than 29 to 30. So when we're actually enchanting, we can just stay at 30 and take experience out of here instead of having to get to a really high level. So that's pretty cool. So with all the money we've earned from selling our rib bones and zombie hearts, I think we're going to go ahead and spend half a stack of gold on mystery cards, the mystery buddy card packs, and see what we can get, because I really liked opening those last time, especially with the biomes you go. That's the one I wasn't sure on in, what was it, this binder? Yeah, these are apparently BYG is all the biomes you go, so this is actually the only way to collect those. So we're going to go ahead and open up a whole bunch of those packs and see what we get. All right, and here is our current state of buddy cards. So we're still missing a single base set buddy card. For the create set, I've completely filled up our non-shiny cards, and we're still missing a few of the shiny cards. For the Farmer's Light set, we have all of our non-shinies and just missing a few shinies. For another set, we're actually looking a lot better today. So we just have a few holes, and honestly, I think we're pretty close to completing our nether pack. Now, as for the other packs, the end set, I don't have any of these organized. They're just kind of all popped in here. I would say the end set looks like we're a little under halfway there for completing that. Same thing with all the biomes you go. And then aquaculture, we're not doing very good. Now, I'm not sure if this one actually goes all the way up to 20, was it 27? I think it's like Farmer's Delight where it only goes up to 18, because we have not gotten very many of these at all. So I don't know if those are just more rare, but maybe in the next episode we'll do some fishing and see if we can get some more of these aquaculture cards. So with all that, we are currently at 83, is that right? Yeah, 83% power. So we went from 70 to 83 with those 16 buddy card packs. So before we end the episode, I just want to talk a little bit about the future of this series. So I've really enjoyed kind of being in this little starter area, but this is not where our permanent base is going to be. So we have our andesite factory, we've got now our barrel factory, and then a few of the starter buildings we kind of use to manually collect a lot of stuff. But I think it's time to move on to a mega base. So what we're going to be doing in the next few episodes is building our brass factory in this space. And then after that, we're going to be kind of finishing it off, doing final touches, making some houses, our little village around here. But then we're going to be actually moving off and starting a new base. Now, the reason I want to start a new base is because I want to have things connected a little bit better. Right now, if I wanted to take wood and use it for this farm, I have to make its own wood farm. If I want to take or if I want to take flax and make string and then combine it with wool and then put it over there, it's a huge pain in the butt to kind of do all of that. And most of the stuff over here is manual. So what I want to do is make a mega base with a main bus line with every single material that we're producing running through it. So that way we can just kind of pull out of that bus for whatever new manufactured process we want to do. So definitely look forward to that, and hopefully in maybe like 2 or 3 episodes from now we can actually really get started and break ground on our mega base. Now don't you worry, we're not completely abandoning this space. We will be coming back to like get our XP and check on our barrel from time to time, and we are still going to be using this for our permanent brass and copper machine production. But we just kind of want to start something new. So if you're looking forward to that, make sure to hit like and subscribe so you can see it when it comes out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.